The draw, clean sheet here at the City Ground. But your thoughts on the game?
I thought we started really well. First 10 minutes, I thought we were slick with our passing. We moved pretty well. Didn't really get in behind them enough as far as trouble the goalkeeper, but we were certainly in control. And then obviously Bakes gets knocked out, and he's all right, by the way. I hope. Apparently he's all right. So he was knocked out and concussed. It just killed the ebb and the flow that we had for a little bit. So then I was a bit disappointed with our next 20 minutes. I thought it was too easy for them to penetrate. We lost the ball up front on 6 or 7 occasions, and it didn't enable us to get that platform to go and build off. And then I had to really change the shape just to keep us in it, if you like. Try and keep the clean sheet, drop Bobby back, which is not ideal, but we had to do it. And half time sorted out a couple of things. I thought second half we were better. I thought it was definitely even Steven, if not slightly in our favour. Frankie's made a great save with the pen, there's no doubt in that. But we controlled a lot more of the game.
Yeah, just on Nathan Baker, do you know at this point whether he's going to be okay for next Sunday?
He probably won't be, because I think there's a rule now with concussion that you have to be at least 2 or 3 weeks, and rightly so, because obviously there's been some bad injuries in the recent years where players have ended up. So we'll look after him. We'll make sure everybody concentrates on making sure he's all right.
Yeah. Much improved in the second half, as you said. What did you say or do at half time to try and change the game in your favour?
Yeah, they had a couple of players sort of in cheating positions, and if we'd have kept the ball better, then it would have been, we'd have had the overloads. But given the fact that we gave it away needlessly on too many occasions, it then created the momentum for them. And obviously when Tomlin gets in the pocket and he's in that little cheating position, he's a dangerous player. So we had to nullify that. We did nullify that, and listen, we didn't do enough. There's no doubt in that, and we've got to keep working. We're still work in progress for the long term, but it's a challenge that of course we're all looking forward to.
And what were you thinking when Lee Tomlin stepped up to take that penalty?
Do you know what? I quite fancy Frankie actually to save it. I was angry with the way that we let them in to score, to get the penalty, but I always fancy Frankie in that type scenario because he's very sharp off the mark.
Yeah. And Jiju, we thought for a moment that he'd broken the deadlock, but applied for offside.
Yeah, I wasn't sure whether it was actually their player that touched it through or not, and that was the bit I was sort of questioning. But I think probably the referee's got that one right.
Just finally, playoffs now, of course, not mathematically possible, but it's been a season of progression, and you'll want a big game next Sunday to end the season on a real high, won't you?
Yeah, we want to end up, do you know what I mean, putting on a performance for our fans, and do you know what I mean, we're all disappointed, if you like, from where we've been, but from 10,000 feet, there's been a lot of progressions, both on the pitch but also off the pitch for the football club, and I think that's what we want. We want the right things for the football club, and we'll continue. I'm already excited for next year.